If Sanji ever ate a devil fruit, it could not just be some random overpowered ability. It would have to fit the kind of fighter he already is. Sanji is not a brawler who throws his whole body into any kind of attack. He is not someone who wants to punch, grab, or fight with his hands. His hands are for cooking. His legs are for war. So the best devil fruit for Sanji is not automatically the fruit with the biggest explosion, the most broken hacks, or the flashiest transformation. It is the fruit that makes his kick-based fighting style faster, hotter, sharper, or more elegant, without taking away what makes him Sanji. For this list, I picked 5 fruits that genuinely suit him. Some fit his speed, some fit his flames, some fit his aerial movement, some fit the sneaky side of Sanji that has always been part of his character. And one, in my opinion, fits him so cleanly that it almost feels like the devil fruit version of Diable Jambe. Before the ranking, there is one important rule. I am not just picking fruits that would make Sanji broken. If that was the only goal, you could give him the strongest mythical Zoan, a gravity fruit, a darkness fruit, or a dragon fruit. And of course he becomes terrifying. But that is not the real question. The real question is which fruit suits Sanji. That means the fruit has to respect his fighting style. Sanji fights with speed, footwork, aerial movement, observation haki, heat, precision, and emotion. He does not want a power that turns him into a completely different kind of fighter. It also has to fit his personality. Sanji is stylish, he is dramatic, he is loyal, he is emotional. He is a chef before he is anything else, but when the crew is threatened, he turns into one of the most dangerous close-range fighters in the Straw Hats. He moves like a dancer, hits like a cannon, and burns with enough passion that his leg literally catches fire. So I avoided fruits that feel too slow, too hand-focused, or too dependent on standing still. Sanji does not need a fruit that makes him a tank. He needs a fruit that makes his kicks harder to see, harder to survive, and harder to escape. And I also avoided fruits that would make his legs feel irrelevant. Because if Sanji eats a devil fruit and the first thing we think is, why is he even kicking anymore, then that fruit does not actually suit him. The best Sanji fruit should make us think, that is the same cook, the same gentleman, the same monster, only faster, hotter, and more impossible to hit. Let's rank them from number 5 to number 1. The 5th best devil fruit for Sanji would be the Suke no Mi, the clear fruit. This is the invisibility fruit, and the reason it belongs on the list is obvious. Sanji has wanted invisibility for a long time. But I am putting it at number 5 because it fits one side of Sanji extremely well. Sanji is already a stealth specialist when the story needs him to be. He sneaks onto trains, he slips behind enemy lines, he saves people while the bigger fighters are drawing attention. Some of his best moments are not just kicks, they are rescue missions. That is why invisibility could actually be useful beyond the gag. Image 1 would show Sanji eating a pale, glass-like devil fruit in a quiet kitchen, trying to look calm while the edges of his body begin fading into the air. Image 2 would show him vanishing mid-kick, only the flame trail of Diable Jambe visible as an enemy is launched across a dark hallway. In combat, the clear fruit would make Sanji terrifying in short bursts. He could disappear, reposition, and strike before the opponent even understands where the attack is coming from. Combined with observation haki, his speed, and his natural stealth instincts, this would make him one of the best rescue fighters in the entire crew. The downside is that invisibility is not the purest version of Sanji's strength. Sanji is not at his best when he is hiding forever. He is at his best when he appears at the perfect moment, cigarette lit, suit still clean, and kicks the threat away from someone who needed saving. So the clear fruit fits his stealth and his old dream, but it does not define his strongest fighting identity. That is why it starts the list at number 5. It suits Sanji, but it is not the best Sanji. At number 4, I would give Sanji the spring fruit. This is Bellamy's fruit, and at first it might sound too simple. Turning your legs into springs does not sound as legendary as fire, light, or a mythical Zoan. But for Sanji, that simplicity is exactly why it works. Sanji is already a kick-based fighter. He already uses explosive movement, sudden acceleration, aerial steps, and rapid changes in direction. A spring-based power would not replace his style. It would supercharge the engine. Image 1 would show Sanji eating a coiled, spiral-shaped devil fruit, one shoe pressing into the floor as the tile beneath him starts to crack from stored tension. Image 2 would show Sanji launching from wall to wall in a blur, spring force exploding through his legs as he delivers a flaming kick from an impossible angle. This fruit would make his footwork ridiculous. He could store force in his legs, bounce off buildings, ricochet around enemies, and turn every kick into a compressed impact. Imagine a concasse or mouton shot with spring-loaded acceleration behind it. That is not just a kick. That is a cannonball wearing a suit. The spring fruit also fits Sanji because it keeps him physical. It does not give him a ranged beam. It does not make him fight with his hands. It does not turn him into a completely different character. It just makes his legs even more dangerous. The reason it is only number 4 is that Sanji already has a better version of extreme mobility through skywalk and his natural speed. So the spring fruit would be useful, but it might feel like an upgrade to something he already solved. Still, it belongs here because it respects the core rule. Sanji's legs remain the whole point, and with this fruit, every step could become a loaded weapon. Number 3 is the Phoenix Fruit. This is Marco's mythical Zoan, and it fits Sanji in a very different way than it fits Zoro. For Zoro, the Phoenix Fruit is terrifying because it lets him keep fighting through damage. For Sanji, the Phoenix Fruit is terrifying because it turns his movement style into something almost angelic. Sanji is already an aerial fighter. Skywalk lets him move through the air like the sky itself is a staircase. He is fast, graceful, and constantly attacking from angles that normal fighters cannot match. Now give him wings. Image 1 would show Sanji eating a blue flame-shaped fruit on the deck of the Sunny, his suit catching glowing phoenix light as feather-like flames form behind him. Image 2 would show Sanji flying above the battlefield with blue phoenix wings, one leg wrapped in blue fire, as he dives into a flaming kick. This fruit gives him 3 things he would use perfectly: flight, healing, and flame. Flight makes his aerial combat even cleaner. Healing lets him stay in the fight longer, especially because Sanji often takes brutal damage protecting others. And the blue flames fit his existing fire theme, without making him abandon his kicks. The emotional fit is strong too. Sanji is one of the crew's protectors. He feeds people. He rescues people. He takes damage for people. A fruit connected to recovery and protective flames actually matches that side of him beautifully. But the reason it is not number 1 is that the Phoenix Fruit has a huge identity of its own. Marco is so tied to that fruit that Sanji with Phoenix powers might start to feel less like Sanji and more like a different mythical fighter. Still, the combination is insane. Blue flames, sky movement, regeneration, and Sanji's kick style would create one of the most elegant fighters in One Piece. He would not just fly, he would dance through the air, heal through damage, and burn anyone who threatened his crew. At number 2, we have the Pika Pika no Mi, the light fruit. This is Kizaru's fruit, and if we are talking about Sanji's combat identity, it is almost too perfect. Sanji's whole style is built around speed. He appears suddenly. He intercepts attacks. He saves crewmates at the last second. He kicks so fast that enemies barely process what happened before they are already flying. Now imagine that speed pushed into literal light. Image 1 would show Sanji eating a glowing golden fruit in a dark room, his cigarette smoke turning into bright streaks as his foot begins to shine. Image 2 would show Sanji launching a light-speed kick across the battlefield, golden trails cutting through the air, while his suit and flames blur into a single impact. This fruit would make Sanji a nightmare. Light-speed movement fits his rescue role perfectly. If someone is about to be hit, Sanji can be there instantly. If an enemy is hiding across the battlefield, Sanji can reach them before they blink. If someone thinks distance protects them, they are wrong. The light fruit also works because Kizaru already shows how devastating light-based kicks can be. Sanji would not need to reinvent the fruit. He would naturally understand the best part of it: turn speed into impact. And because Sanji already fights with fire and heat, golden light wrapping around his kicks feels visually perfect. The only reason the light fruit is not number 1 is that it might be too dominant. Light is such a powerful concept that it could start to swallow the martial arts. Sanji might become the light man before he is the cook who fights with flaming kicks. But even with that risk, the fit is incredible. If Sanji had the light fruit, his enemy would not hear footsteps. They would see a flash. Then the kick would already be finished. Now for number 1, I am giving Sanji the Mera Mera no Mi, the Flame Fruit. And yes, this is Ace's fruit, then Sabo's fruit. It is one of the most emotionally important devil fruits in One Piece. But if we are asking which fruit best suits Sanji's body, fighting style, and identity, fire is the answer. Diable Jambe is not just a technique. It is Sanji's passion becoming heat. Ifrit Jambe pushes that idea even further, turning his kicks into something hotter, faster, and more destructive. So the flame fruit does not feel like a random power being added onto Sanji. It feels like his existing power being unlocked completely. Image 1 would show Sanji eating a burning orange-red devil fruit in a kitchen lit by warm fire, his expression serious as flames curl around his leg without burning his suit. Image 2 would show Sanji in full combat, one leg transformed into roaring flame, launching a blazing kick that leaves a dragon-like trail of fire across the battlefield. This fruit would make every part of Sanji's fighting style more dangerous. His kicks would gain range, heat, defense, and explosive force. He could create flame bursts to accelerate movement. He could attack from the air with fire trails. He could protect allies by cutting off enemies with walls of flame. And unlike some other fruits, the flame fruit would not make his legs irrelevant. It would make his legs the center of the power. Sanji would not suddenly become a generic fire mage. He would still be Sanji. He would still move like Sanji, kick like Sanji, and protect people like Sanji. Only now, every kick carries the full force of a Logia flame. There is also a character reason this fruit fits. Sanji is emotional. He burns hot. He gets angry when people waste food. He loses control when someone hurts women. He acts cool, but his heart is always on fire. That is why the flame fruit wins for me. The clear fruit fits his stealth. The spring fruit fits his legs. The phoenix fruit fits his aerial protection. The light fruit fits his speed. But the flame fruit fits Sanji's soul. It takes what he already does and makes it legendary. So my final top 5 devil fruits for Sanji would be number 5, the clear fruit. Number 4, the spring fruit. Number 3, the phoenix fruit. Number 2, the light fruit. And number 1, the flame fruit. But honestly, Sanji is probably better without a devil fruit. Because part of what makes Sanji so cool is that his flames feel like they come from him. Not from a fruit. Not from a shortcut. Not from a power he found by accident. They come from training, emotion, Germa enhancements, hockey, and that ridiculous burning will to protect the people he loves. A devil fruit could make him stronger, but it would also take away his ability to swim. And for a chef on a pirate crew, that weakness matters. Still, if Sanji ever did eat one, it would need to respect the rule that defines him. His hands are for cooking. His legs are for fighting. And the best fruit for him is the one that turns every kick into the fire that was already there.